Hey everybody, and welcome to the corner where it's always perfect 90 degrees. And you know how when you're a kid, there's that one show or movie that you absolutely loved and would watch nonstop? Yeah, I had many of those growing up, and some of them I still enjoy and I still watch to this day, or at least have fond memories of. One of those movies for me was the Barbie movies, more specifically Barbie and Swan Lake. I love this movie, and it's been forever since I've seen it, which does make me a little upset. One day I'll get my hands on it. Anyway, one of the things I remember loving and still love is the outfit Barbie wears in that movie. So I thought, why don't I draw myself in that outfit? Heal my inner child a little. So for this video, I want to talk about my good memories of the movie and go over the speed paint a little. If you want to see more of my art, follow me on Instagram and Kara, and my commissions are open as well in case you want me to draw something for y'all. Okay, let's go. So I don't remember exactly how I first discovered this movie, but when I was a kid, my parents would take me to the library a lot because back when I was younger, I read pretty often. So they would take me to get new books. And well, when I went, I would also sometimes rent movies. And if I remember, this library split the movies to kids and adults. So I would go to the kids section and see what movies they had. This library happened to have a whole bunch of Barbie movies. And I knew what Barbie was. I had plenty of Barbie dolls at home. And I guess one day I saw the movie sitting there. Pretty sure the cover enticed me. Because, ooh, pretty colors. And I rented it. Came home and watched it and fell in love. I would constantly rent this thing and watch it over and over. I'm pretty sure I annoyed my parents with that. Sorry, love y'all. I know it didn't help when I discovered that I had the doll dress from that movie. So I would get one of my Barbie dolls, put her in that dress, and sit and watch the movie with my doll. Those were good times. Going a little into the speed paint now, I had to more so figure out what I was going to do for the pose. I definitely knew I wanted to do a ballet pose, so I looked up a reference. And this is a good time to remind you, aspiring artists out there, that it is okay to use a reference. There are some things you're just not going to know how to draw or don't know exactly what it looks like. So do not be afraid to go and look up a reference for a pose, an outfit. It's usually always beneficial. So yeah, so I had a little reference for a ballet pose, and I found one I liked on Pinterest. And I also definitely had to pull up the dress from the movie to know more so what it looked like. Before I did the speed paint on digital, I did actually sketch it out in my sketchbook real quick just to get a sort of general idea of how I would draw myself in case I wanted to change things. And really, the only thing I changed was the necklace. I added a heart like I have in my usual persona. And I changed how my persona's hair looks to sort of match the dress. And also changed the color of the glasses in my persona. I also decided to add my little mascots there as mostly because I was thinking how in Barbie she always has like some animal mascot. And so I thought, hey, I have some. Let's just add them in and give him a little outfit for it too. I never talked about these guys before, but the little cat dudes you see sometimes on my channel, they're older OCs of mine that I had a long time ago. They were one of the first ones I made, and I decided to bring them back. The gray one's name is Tom, and the orange one is Charlie. I love these little dudes. And I have very fond memories of them since they were one of the first OCs I had made. It just felt nice to have them back. And they also fit the speed paint. So, a little bit back to the movie, I don't remember much of like the story itself just because it's been a while, so I don't know how much changed per se of what happened in the movie. But I know that this movie is definitely a big reason why I love Swan Lake now. It's one of my favorite ballets. And again, I'm not very well versed in ballets, but Swan Lake is definitely one of my favorites next to the Nutcracker. Another thing I really appreciate about the Barbie Swan Lake is that it actually does use the music from the original ballet. If y'all don't know, the guy who wrote Swan Lake his name was Tchaikovsky, and he wrote the music, he wrote Swan Lake, he wrote Nutcracker, he wrote some other stuff too, but that's the most notable ones. And in the Barbie movie, they actually do use the music, which I really like. it definitely introduced little me to that music. And I was pretty like surprised that like I had found out later on when I got older, like, oh my god, this was actually the song. You know, they wasn't just made up. you know? Which honestly, them using the music is a lot more than I've seen some adaptations do. Cause I know one adaptation is the Swan Princess. I saw someone mention this and I was like, no, you're right. Where in Swan Princess, which is an adaptation of Swan Lake, they do not use any of Tchaikovsky's music. Nothing from the ballet, but yet the Barbie one does. So, point left for Barbie there. I don't know why. It could have just been background music. I don't know why Swan Princess didn't use it, but hey, whatever. Some people like the movie, so not gonna hate. But yeah, it's something interesting. The Nutcracker version had also used the music from the ballet too, so that's cool. Another thing I decided to look into was the villains, since the villains are something people like about Barbie movies now. At least Preminger from Princess and the Pauper. So I went back and looked, and so the villains in Swan Lake, I believe the villain was Rothbart and Odile, which Rothbart was like this evil sorcerer. I don't remember what his deal was with cursing Odette or Barbie. In the Barbie movies, Barbie plays different characters, so in this one, she's Odette. I don't know why he cursed her. I can't remember why he did it. I'm assuming maybe it's a territory thing, possibly. Or she found out something. I don't remember why he did it, but he cursed her, right? And then Odile is his daughter. And I remember looking back at Odile, and I really love her design. She's so, like, she's pretty. I like her. She looks cool. The only thing I remember, like, not liking about her, and I probably would find just a tad annoying, was her voice. No hate on the voice actress, nothing. It's just, it was very high pitched and whiny, but that was kind of her character, is that she was very whiny and she would like, yeah, whine at her dad all the time. So I get it, and also she's a villain, so we guess we gotta make her like unlikable somehow, right? So yeah. And I remember there was a scene later on, which I do like, or I think the outfit in that scene's pretty, where the prince in that movie decides to hold a like ball so that he can confess his love to Odette or something like that. I don't remember if it was something like that. And he had to do it to her, but then Odette couldn't go because she was still a swan, something about the moons or something. It was thinking if the moon hit the lake, she could become human, but I guess there was no moon. I don't remember. So whatever, she couldn't go, or something. I can't remember. And it was either that or they locked her up again. I haven't seen this movie forever, so I don't know if I'm confusing it with Swan Princess or if I'm saying it right. I don't remember. Whatever it was, she couldn't get to the ball, and Rothbart sent his daughter Odile to go pretend to be Barbie or Odette. And how they did it was they had Odile under a spell, so where everyone else saw Odile, the prince saw Odette. And then he, like, confessed to the wrong person. It was the whole thing, right? But the dress Odile wore, I actually did kind of like. It's like a nice black dress, which I like. I get it because Black Swan and usually how the ballet goes, but I like it. It's nice. But yeah, that was something interesting. I remember something I kind of, at least like now. I don't know if I cared for it as a kid. Maybe I did a little bit, but I do now. A thing I think I also appreciate, at least I think a reason why I liked this movie so much too at the time, was I had a bit of a ballet phase as a kid. I don't know what it was. I think it was just because at the time, a lot of like young girl stuff had a lot to do with like ballerinas and stuff like that. So I was exposed to a lot of like ballerina stuff. So I had a bit of a phase where I was like obsessed with ballet. And I think there was also a time where I considered being a ballerina, which nowadays I'm like, no way I'm being a ballerina. Props to you ballerinas out there. I don't know how y'all do this. Y'all are great. Because I don't know how y'all can wear those shoes and do all those moves. I can't do it. I can barely pick my leg up, so I don't know how any of y'all can do that. Props to ballerinas out there. But yeah, there was a time as a kid where I really liked ballerinas, and so this being a ballet, a movie based on a ballet where they actually did ballet, that really like spoke to me as a kid. I liked it a lot. another thing I remember for this movie was it was kind of dramatic from what I remember. Like, I remember, like, the transformation stuff was, like, very, like, intense because it wasn't just her curse, like, Odette was the only one that's cursed. It was especially these, like, little kids, which, again, what is Rothbard's deal? Why is he cursing these kids? I think it's a territory thing. Like, they kidded his turf. And he was like, oh, you little 5-year-olds coming up in here? Welp, time to turn you into a hedgehog. I don't know what's going on. It was really funny. I think it's supposed to do something, 'cause I think in the original ballet, it's like Swan Lake. It's like other swans or something. So I guess like that's supposed to be the kids there. But yeah, that was something. That was always like I just not remember like there was a bunch of like just these children cursed. And I'm like, what did they do to get cursed? I mean, like, he's a villain, so I guess it's trying to get us to hate him. But I'm like, what did they do? And I remember too in in that movie, they had like this like fairy queen, which I think she was the one who sort of like lessened the curse because I think how Rothbart had it was like you were stuck that way, but then she'd show up and like I can't get rid of the curse, but I can at least have it to where like at night you could become human again, and then like in the morning you're back to a swan or something. But this movie got intense because yeah, there's all this stuff with like all these like transformation stuff. But I remember like the final battle was like it was a little intense from what I at least as a kid. Cause wasn't it like I haven't seen this movie. I have nowhere to watch it, so I don't remember exactly what happens. But it's like, cause Prince Boy, I forgot his name, messed up. Odette's on the brink of death, and he has to like fight Rothbart, and it's not ending well. I know somehow he turns his daughter into a pig. I don't know how that happened, but he did that by accident. And then they were trying to fight, and I know the Fairy Queen showed up, but Rothbart was too powerful for her and turned into a mouse. So we were like, oh shoot, I'm pretty sure like didn't like I think the prince got knocked out at some point. So it was very like, oh my god, who's gonna win? And then I know they won somehow. I don't know how, but they won, right? True love or something, probably. I don't know. And that was the whole thing. But I remember being like, as a kid, it was like I remember like generally how the scene felt as a kid. And as a kid, I was just like, oh my god, are they gonna lose? Oh my god, like I was so into it. Right before I last thing I wanted to talk about before I ended this video is sort of my reasoning for wanting to draw this. Again, I kind of mentioned it in the beginning. I like the dress and I wanted to draw myself in it. But it's also kind of just, I don't know, healing my inner child. I don't know if that's the right phrase. If it's not the right phrase, I'm sorry. But, sometimes the world gets a little crazy, especially when you're older. I mean, I'm an adult now, so you gotta kind of deal with all the adult problems. And sometimes it's nice just to kind of like do something that makes you happy or just do something that makes you feel happy. Because, I mean, I love to draw, it's my whole channel and it's something I want to go into. But I like to do things that kind of make me feel happy. And I just thought, like, I want to wear that dress. That's such a pretty dress. But I can't wear that dress because it's not real. It's a fictional thing, so I drew it instead. And so that's something kind of fun with art is that you can do these things. Art can make a lot of things possible, which is something beautiful about the medium. Art can be used to do something that makes you happy. As long as you're not hurting anybody or making someone uncomfortable. If you're just doing something that makes you happy, then do it. And I just thought this dress, I just I guess this movie reminds me of a simpler time, and I just thought this would be really pretty just to kind of give myself a confidence boost or just a little like little happiness thing. And I did like how this came out, and I feel makes me feel happy, just to draw something pretty because I don't always get to dress like this. One for in reality because I don't have the money, or I personally don't feel like there's a something I could go in this outfit like this for. So art kind of opens that gate to where I can do that and just give myself a little happy, live my little childhood dream. And that's what I want to do with this channel. And so my career, just yes, I have to deal with adult problems, but I want something to go back to that makes me happy, something that I enjoy. So yeah, just didn't mean to get all philosophical there, but that's kind of what I wanted to draw. I just wanted to live a little childhood dream, draw myself a little fancy dress from a movie that I liked, and yeah. So I think that's the end of this video. If you like this video, go ahead and press that like button down there and consider subscribing. I have other plans to talk about things I like. Couple stuff in mind. And if you want to see more of my artwork, I do have an Instagram and a Kara that you can go and follow. And if you want artwork of mine, I have commissions. And if you do want to see a project I am working on, it's currently on hiatus, but it's called Storyteller's Nook. It's a comic I made. It's on Webtoon and Tapas and Global Comics. So if y'all are interested in that, you can check that out too. Anyway, that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed your time in the corner, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!